So Melissa Barrera, who is the star of the last two Scream movies, she's the main character, Sam Carpenter, has been fired from Scream 7 for a series of, quote, inappropriate comments. So it's the two directors of the production company, Spyglass Media, have made this decision. Basically, she kind of commented on the Israeli-Palestine conflict, and she compared like the treatment of civilians there to the Holocaust, effectively. The sentiment of what she said was, kids are dying and that's bad. Yeah. And I don't really think that's a very controversial thing. So Spyglass put out this thing, we don't support anyone who has hateful anti-Semitic things to say. And I just don't think it landed with people the way they were hoping. People can see that they're not the victim here. And so she's effectively been fired for no reason, for just speaking out on something that she cares about.
But it wasn't hateful anti-Semitic stuff. It was literally saying, regardless of who's firing the bombs, when children are dying, it's a tragedy. Isn't that basically
I don't think that's a controversial thing to say, Peter. She's been let go now. So
I mean that's shit, mate.
Awful. You very rarely see everyone on the internet gang together to be pissed off at one thing. Everybody's annoyed at this. She's not like over the last two movies. I think Scream 6 changed a little bit, but not been the most popular. I remember Scream 5 came out and a lot of people had kind of criticized her performance. So I think it is kind of a sentiment thing rather than actual support for her. It's just like, no, she didn't deserve that to happen. I remember waking up in the morning and seeing Melissa Barrera fired for tweets or whatever. Yeah. I'm just thinking, shit, what did she do? And I just assumed like, oh, she's after coming out. This is another Gina Carano thing where she's after coming out and saying like masks don't exist or COVID doesn't exist, something stupid like that. But no, she just said something as uncontroversial as I think. She obviously said it very impassionately, but I think this is absolutely absurd now to be sacked off the movie for
So do you think that's her entire career screwed now?
No, I think it's just that one production company. I've always liked her as an actress. I'm sure she'll have no problems getting other work in other places. But yeah, this is just a sucky situation. So that was day one. Day two, Jenna Ortega is not returning for Scream 7.
I mean, that to me is the bigger news.
It's a 1-2 punches. And now I just watched Scream 6 last night for the first time since the cinema, and she's fantastic in it. Like, she's such a great, charming presence. Scream 6 was filmed before Wednesday had come out. She was kind of a star on the rise, and she's kind of blown up since. Initially, they'd reported it was scheduling conflicts because she's filming Wednesday in the summer. Then, because of the timing of it, a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe, you know, her and Melissa Barrera are like best friends, so that's possibly the real reason. Now it's come out that it was a pay dispute. So I think it makes sense. You know, we saw what happened with Neve Campbell last year with Scream 6. They often don't want to pay the actress what the actors feel like they're worth, and she's obviously shot to stardom, so naturally she'd be paid more money for her time for this.
I'm not being funny, but these movies now are making a nice bit of money. These aren't bombs. Do you know what I mean? Scream is got a lot of cash generation behind it, so you would hope they would pay a fair wage for the talent, as it
absolutely were. And especially when you see like Courtney Cox is probably getting $5 million for her showing up, if not more. So like, yeah, a load of bullshit. It feels like you've lost now your two lead characters. Now at the end of Scream 6, I remember I love the core four. Let's go forward with these guys. We don't need Sydney, we don't need Gail, let's move on. And that's just gone on the shitter now.
We talked a lot, didn't we, about the fact that you could leave the legacy characters and just focus on these guys now.
Yeah.
And Melissa kind of left it on an interesting place where she could be the slasher in future movies.
That's the natural. They were building to that, you know. And like, the annoying thing is that we know that Scream 7 was supposed to be about them, or at least I think Jenna Ortega probably would have had a reduced role in it, but still been in it. But it was going to focus on Sam's possible descent into being a ghost face, and I was really excited to see that. And that's obviously what the director had signed on for. So they're rewriting the script now, and surprise, surprise, they want Neve Campbell back now for to play Sydney again, with Patrick Dempsey. So he plays a detective in Scream 3 called Mark Kincaid, and in Scream 5 you find out Sydney married him, so he's like the father of the kid, so they're a family together. So the drama aside, I actually like the idea of like Sydney protecting her family. That's kind of interesting. I think this is your saving grace, really. That will buy back a bit of goodwill, bring Sydney back, even though I was very much prepared to leave her behind.
I'm not convinced. I don't know that I want her back, to be honest. I suppose that's an interesting take on it, but we'll see.
Both of us felt that there was one man that could save Scream 7, and that's Matthew Lillard as Stu. I could absolutely imagine an executive saying to the guys that are rewriting the script, we need a win here. We need to please the fans. They're pissed at us. 2 movies in a row now we've had drama with the actors. We need a win. Put Stu in it, because that's what all the fans want. We've just wanted him back since like Scream 3. I feel like this is the best opportunity.
I thought exactly the same. There's such a fan kind of push to bring this guy back, so why not do it? The way he died in Scream 1, you could, get around that, couldn't wouldn't you?
It's a survival thing. It'll have to be a stupid reason. There's no clever way to bring this character back. Law enforcement think he's dead. In Scream 6, there's a board of like all the ghost faces and it says like date of death. It'll have to be like he swapped out his own body. He survived and like on the sly killed someone and swapped bodies, or the government hid his death for some reason. There's no clever way to do this, I think. It's going to be silly, but I don't care.
It's Scream. At this stage, silly doesn't matter anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The storylines are so far-fetched and convoluted in terms of making the links to why people are killing people and stuff like that. Even if they just said in the ambulance he got off and he was alive or whatever.
No, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care at all.
Shit.
I feel like this is the time to do this. Win back some goodwill. I remember watching Scream 6. Like, I was convinced he was going to be the killer in the end.
exactly.
But it wouldn't make sense for him to be the killer in that one because that involves characters that have nothing to do with him. Whereas if you're bringing Sydney back,
Yes, absolutely.
that makes sense to have this connect to her. So yeah, I think the best shot we've ever had of having this happen.
And also, I think in this case, he plays such an engaging character and he's such a good actor. You know, it would be nice to see him again.